Moving on to tuple set and dictionary comprehensions. If you recall list comprehensions, then these comprehensions will be very similar. So with all of these comprehensions, you're going to use a for loop in a single line, and you'll create a new tuple set or dictionary. They are very similar to list comprehensions, and we will start there as a review in case you have forgotten. So with a list comprehension, let's do it the old way without the comprehension and iterate through a for loop. So the way this works is if you're iterating through some iterable here, we'll just use a range object from 0 to 9. And let's just say we want to square these numbers. So the way it works is you create a list, a new list over here, and we use the append method over here, and we just append the squared value. So that'll be the single line in the body of the loop, and then we get this. So a more straightforward or just shorter amount of code would be to use a list comprehension. Let's go ahead and just copy this whole thing over here and just convert it to a list comprehension. So the way a list comprehension works is that you just place the for loop in here. The for loop will be on the right hand side. The single line of code, which is really just I squared, we don't need the append anymore. We'll go over here. We don't need the colon. Let's delete that. Let's delete this. So that has transformed this iteration into a list comprehension, which does the exact same thing. All right, so a tuple comprehension is going to look very similar. Now, tuples do not have the ability to append. So you cannot create a new tuple like this. What you can do, though, is we can just convert a list comprehension very quickly into a tuple comprehension by changing the square brackets to parentheses. Now, this doesn't exactly work. It actually creates a little bit more complex object called a generator. So if I do this, you're going to get this weird generator object. This is a more advanced topic. It essentially it's just waiting for it to look like a list, but it's just it doesn't produce the values just yet. To actually make it a tuple comprehension, you need to put the word tuple in front of it, and then this will actually go ahead and create that tuple. So it's going to be the same values, but will just be a tuple instead of a list. So tuple comprehension and list comprehensions look almost identical. The only difference will be this word tuple in front and using parentheses instead of just the square brackets. All right, a set comprehension will, in fact, look very similar. So let's go over here. A set comprehension, instead of using the square brackets, we're going to use the curly braces, and we're going to say, change the variable to say new set like this. And so that works. You don't have to worry about this generator object. So that is good. Now a dictionary comprehension, let's go ahead and copy this down below, is also going to look very similar. Now, say new dict, and so what we need here is on the left hand side, we need to pair a key and a value. So we need a colon over here. So one way to do this is just to pair or map the original to the squared value. So this will work like this. So 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, and so on. So this gives you a little bit more information, this dictionary, about what is happening. Of course, we could have paired anything over here on the left-hand side. We could have made this something else. We could have even said I plus 5 or something, and then maybe squared I plus 5 like this. So we just kind of bumped it up. Of course, this would have been easier just to change the range over here. But all I'm saying is that to create a dictionary comprehension is that you need something on the left, a colon, and then something on the right, like we do over here. And then at the end result will be a dictionary. You use those same curly braces and a for loop that iterates through some iterable. All right, so we're going to see some more examples of this dictionary comprehension. I just wanted to go through these comprehensions to show you how they are very analogous to list comprehensions which we already covered in great detail.